Pakistan's pending economic collapse. Pakistan has been caught in a violent debt cycle, twisting deep into an economic crisis, bringing to mind Sri Lanka's recent financial cum political crisis. According to reports, Pakistan has struggled to meet the basic needs of its citizens as the Pakistani rupee has fallen to a record low and fuel prices have soared. But what is causing Pakistan's dangerous situation? We will discuss the causes of Pakistan's economic crisis in this video. If you are new to our YouTube channel, please don't hesitate to subscribe, leave a comment, and give us a thumbs up so you don't miss out on any future interesting content like these. And please watch until the end of this video so you will also know our opulent viewer contest keyword and possibly win. Let's get started. For a long time, Pakistan's economy has been unstable. The difference now is that it is on the verge of collapsing. Over the past 2 decades, Pakistan has achieved significant poverty reduction, but human development outcomes have fallen behind, while economic growth has remained unstable and slow, said the World Bank in an October report. The country's economy has been pushed to an unsustainable level for a variety of reasons. Let us go over them in more detail. Debt. Pakistan's total external debt stock will rise to $130.433 billion by the end of 2021, up from $115.695 billion at the end of 2020. This is according to the World Bank. The country's external debt will reach $126.9 billion in September 2022, according to CEIC data. According to news services, Pakistan's debt to GDP ratio is approaching 70%, and 40 to 50% of government revenue is set aside this year for interest payments. According to Mint, Chinese loans account for roughly $23 billion of Pakistan's bilateral debt of $27 billion. Pakistan inflation at a 48-year high. According to Bloomberg, the country's inflation reached a 48-year high in January as thousands of containers of food, raw materials, and equipment sat in ports after the cash-strapped government restricted imports. It has recently fallen to 27.55%. Inflationary pressures tend to depress a country's currency's value. This is because rising inflation reduces the purchasing power of the currency, making it weaker against other currencies. That brings us to our current topic, the Pakistani rupee. Pakistani rupee crash. According to the central bank, the Pakistani rupee fell 9.6% against the United States dollar as January 26, the largest one-day drop in more than 2 decades, in a slump that may persuade the IMF to resume lending to the country. This was the largest single-day fall in over 2 decades, analysts told Reuters. Last week, Pakistan removed an artificial cap on the rupee, causing it to fall 14.73% in interbank trading over the last 3 trading sessions. Foreign exchange reserves at a new low. According to Al Jazeera, Pakistan's foreign exchange reserves fell to $4.3 billion in January, the lowest level since 2014. The announcement came after the State Bank of Pakistan, or SBP, paid off some of the country's external debt payments. According to the statement, the SBP also revealed that commercial banks have $5.8 billion, totaling nearly $10.1 billion. According to the report, the total liquid foreign reserves held by the country stood at $9.45 billion as of January 20, 2023, according to the SBP. Possible political crisis. It is believed that constant political chaos may undermine a coherent and timely policy response. It is worth noting that no Pakistani Prime Minister has served a full 5-year term. To keep the record straight, Shehbaz Sharif took over and ousted Imran Khan in 2022. Since then, the latter has been working tirelessly to destabilize the Sharif government. Imran Khan, despite no longer being prime minister, remains very popular, which has fueled speculation about a split in the Pakistan army. Political insecurity also poses a threat to the future. The current government's term will expire in August, allowing a special caretaker government to take over for up to 90 days to ensure free and fair elections. However, the caretaker government is not empowered to sign an IMF or International Monetary Fund pact, raising the question of whether the government and opposition can cooperate on a joint pledge to push through any IMF demands in order to avert a default, Reuters reported. Significant shortage of power and energy. Pakistan is highly import dependent, particularly in energy, making it acutely vulnerable to increases in global oil and gas prices, said John Siorsari, Associate Dean for Research and Policy Engagement at the University of Michigan. The recent massive outage has provoked something that matters. Pakistan has sufficient installed capacity, but it lacks the resources to run its heavily indebted oil and gas powered plants, and it cannot afford to invest in infrastructure and power lines. According to an IANS report, the government was forced to order shopping malls and markets to close by 8:30 p.m. due to the crisis to save energy. And according to the Business Standard, Pakistan's economy is struggling for post-COVID-19 economic recovery, but it is increasingly finding it difficult due to power outages and costly power effect on both domestic industrial output and competitiveness in export markets. According to the Deccan Herald, some of the power infrastructure was built as part of the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor or CPED, a regional connectivity framework. Because Pakistan is unable to operate it, this infrastructure is said to have increased the country's debt. Devastating floods. According to the World Bank, in early FY23, Pakistan's economy was undergoing an overdue adjustment as it recovered from the impacts of COVID-19. But the recent flood may have postponed the much-needed economic adjustment. The World Bank expects Pakistan's economy to grow by only around 2% in FY23. Pakistan's tense relations with India. The strained relations between Pakistan and India continue to deprive the former of a potentially transformative trading and investment partner. The Hindustan Times reports that the total bilateral trade between India and Pakistan was $329 million in 2020 to 2021, rising to $514 million in 2021 to 2022, according to the Ministry of Commerce. With Indian exports outnumbering imports from Pakistan, however, terrorism emanating from territories under Pakistan's control remains a core concern in bilateral relations, the Ministry of Commerce stated in 2020. Niggles, in a nutshell, investor confidence in the country is dwindling, Siorsari said. Food and fuel price increase are causing significant hardship for ordinary citizens. To address a weak currency, the central bank has sharply raised interest rates. And this answers the question at the heart of Pakistan's economic crisis. Will there be another way for Pakistan to rise? Please leave your thoughts in the comment section. And don't forget to like and subscribe our YouTube channel. Do not forget to join our opulent viewer contest by typing the keyword crisis in the comment section below. To understand what is in it for you, read the additional information below this video. Thank you for sticking with us until the end. We're so excited to still have you on our next video.